On the news this morning, Governor Soludo to develop Anambra into better planned, coordinated destination. Anambra Assembly Speaker Udeze launches 10 million naira education grant for Barry University undergraduate others. INEC flags at 1,690 unclaimed PVCs ahead of voter registration, as UN Human Rights Chief calls on US to withdraw sanctions on ICC judges. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast News on ABS Television. I am David Okpokwasele. We remind you that security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, we must remember that security is everyone's business. And for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, we must join forces with the government in securing our state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to security operatives for better security of life and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5311 or 080-02-20008 for immediate action. We begin from here in Oka, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo has expressed his administration's intentionality about developing Anambra into a better planned and coordinated place. Governor Soludo was speaking at the International Convention Center in Oka as a guest speaker at a roundtable meeting with Mr. Governor on business enabling reforms in the state. Government House correspondent Ejika Banafaldo in this report.
According to the governor, before he came on board, the state was developing in a chaotic manner, which made him put a master plan in place at the 5,000 hectares around Oboji axis for specific purposes. He made a commitment to doing more for the business community in the state.
Getting into Anambra, our target when getting into Anambra should be a pleasurable experience.
The Commissioner for Industry, Mr. Christian Udechukwu, stated that the Anambra environment is changing under the present administration, putting money back into people's pockets, pointing out that the state is working to improve its current ranking from number 7 to number 1 in ease of doing business in the country. In their separate goodwill messages, Engineer Chizo Nwagu of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, President of Anambra Chambers of Commerce and Agriculture, Mr. Pat Apakama, Prince Chris Azo of Civil Society Organization, and Igwe Chris Orano appreciated the governor for completion of the business enabling reform, coordinated massive infrastructure in the state, mobilization of public-private partnership without borrowing, asking for more.
Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Somto Udeze, has launched a 10 million naira education grant for Barry University undergraduates and student nurses of colleges of nursing sciences, in keeping with his efforts to promote education in our Barry Council area. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Chibata, filed in this report.
Udeze, the initiative unveiled at the State Legislative Complex will help alleviate the financial burdens faced by many Ogbaru students, especially those pursuing careers in various academic fields, and encourage the students to remain steadfast, focused, morally upright, avoid distractions, and make the most of the opportunities provided to them.
Only if we promise you that maybe when you're 50 or when you're 30, there's no future. Your future starts now. And that's what you're seeing now. What you're doing now is your future. If you decide to sleep all day, if you decide to waste your time, you're wasting your future.
The lawmaker representing Agwata Constituency 2, Chief Tony Mwabike, commended Speaker Udeze for the visionary and people-oriented intervention, emphasizing that the education grant goes beyond financial support, while the chairman on the occasion, Reverend Father Fidelis Wanze and Architect Augustine Anebunam, appreciated the speaker for the gesture and advised the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the support and strive for academic excellence.
Today, I call upon all of you not just to assess these opportunities that Mr. Speaker is providing for you, but to emulate his humility and the way he has aspired, not just through ambitious thinking, but by putting it into practice.
Beneficiaries including Ms. Gini Kajuku Uzo and Mr. Michael Odigo expressed gratitude to the speaker for the intervention and pledged to make good use of the funds.
In a significant move to uphold the integrity of the digital space, the Anambra state government has launched an aggressive initiative targeting unauthorized internet service providers, ISPs, operating within the state. This crackdown, spearheaded by the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board in collaboration with the Anambra State ICT Agency, comes in response to alarming reports of illegal excavations on public roads and sidewalks, as well as the unauthorized installation of communication poles by these ISPs. Investigations into the activities reveal a concerning trend of operations conducted without the necessary licenses or approvals. The illegal activities of the unlicensed ISPs present multiple risks to public safety, including potential data breaches and the degradation of service quality, while the unauthorized operations threaten to undermine the efforts of legitimate ISPs registered with the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, who adhere to proper protocols to ensure reliable internet for Anambra residents. According to the chairman of Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, Barrister Chike Madekwe, the government asserts that allowing these illegal providers to operate unchecked compromises both public safety and the integrity of the digital market. He explained that the primary goal of this initiative is to purify the digital environment of Anambra State by ensuring that only certified and properly registered ISPs are allowed to offer services. This effort is aligned with the broader vision set forth by the Soludo administration to encourage responsible technology use for the benefit of citizens. Still to come on the news, INEC flags 31,690 unclaimed PVCs ahead of voter registration as UN Human Rights Chief calls on US to withdraw sanctions on ICC judges. More stories after this break. Stay with us.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy, chocolatey, frothy goodness, rich taste, so satisfying.
Cadbury 3-in-1 Hot Chocolate, the treat you deserve.
You're welcome back to the news. Ahead of the continuous voter registration for the Anambra State governorship election, 31,690 permanent voter cards have yet to be collected. The figure is based on the data released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, which also recorded 2,624,764 collected PVCs in the state. The CVR is a routine electoral activity that allows eligible Nigerians who have not yet registered to do so, and also enables previously registered voters to update their information or transfer their registration if necessary. It is expected to result in a notable increase in the number of registered voters in the state, which currently stands at 2,656,437. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu recently confirmed that the Commission was finalizing preparations for the CVR in anticipation of the Anambra State governorship election scheduled for November 8, 2025. Professor Yakubu stressed the urgency of starting the registration process and assured the public that more details will be released soon. The United Nations Human Rights Chief has demanded the U.S. government withdraw sanctions it imposed against 4 judges at the International Criminal Court. In a statement, Volker Turk said attacks against judges run directly counter to respect of the rule of law and equal protection of the law, values for which the U.S. has long stood. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the sanctions, which he said was a legitimate targeting of U.S. and Israel. According to the report, the sanctions are in response to ICC issuing arrest warrants for top Israeli officials, including Benjamin Netanyahu, and its investigation into alleged U.S. war crimes in Afghanistan. And that's the news this morning. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television, Oka. We're on Instagram and X at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points. Again, we told you that Governor Soludo is to develop Anambra into better planned and coordinated destination. We also told you that Anambra State House of Assembly Speaker Udeze has announced a 10 million naira education grants for Obaru University undergraduates and others. We also told you that INEC has flagged 31,690 unclaimed PVCs ahead of voter registration, as UN Human Rights Chief has called on US to withdraw sanctions on ICC judges. Security is here to stay in Anambra State. In the Anambra, remember, security is everyone's business, and for us to have a more secure and livable Anambra State, we must join forces with the government in securing our dear state. If you see something, say something. Report unscrupulous elements to the security operatives for better security of lives and property. Remember the emergency numbers 5311 and 0002 20008. And that's the news this morning. Thanks for joining us. I am David Obokwasele.